Hey, what's going on, everyone? Devin Knupp here, back at you with a brand new video. And today's video, I'm going to be talking about closing your first deal and the momentum behind closing that first deal. And to be honest with you guys, I don't even know what I'm going to title this video yet, but I really just wanted to break down and talk about what it really means to go out there and wholesale your first house. So this is for complete beginners, or let's say that you did just wholesale your first house and now let's say you got a $5,000 check or a $2,000 check or a $10,000 check. What do you do with that money now? Do you just go and spend the money? What do you do? And so if you're one of those people that haven't gone out there and wholesale a house yet and you have no idea which direction you need to head, then I really recommend that you check out the video that I made yesterday. I did a whole hour-long special sort of say on step-by-step what you need to do to go out there and wholesale your first house, even if you don't have a lot of money. And I kind of just made that video because I figured it was really needed in the space, and at least a higher quality video. I put a lot of time. I probably put 3 times as much time editing the video than just recording it alone, and I wanted to make sure it's high quality because, like I said, there's not that many people that talk about the business that it's just in a good perspective. It's always really sketchy audio, sketchy video quality, so I tried to do my best effort in that video. So before I jump into this video, all that I ask, if you guys could please smash the like button. You guys have been doing it amazingly the last few videos that I've been doing when I ask for it, and it helps me out. It helps the algorithm out on YouTube, and more people can see my videos. So I don't want your money in this video. I just want you to smash the like button, and I would highly appreciate that. The thing is once you go out there and wholesale your first house, that's where kind of the magic happens. And the reason being is because it kind of just proves something to most people. Yeah, I can tell you all day long that, yeah, this business model works. You can go out there and wholesale a house and make between, let's say $5,000 and $20,000 or even 6 figures on a deal by going out there and wholesaling a house. But me just saying this to you and showing you results versus you going out there and doing it yourself is two completely different sides of the spectrum. Me telling you versus you doing getting the results. You getting the results is you 100% believing in the business model because you went out there and actually closed the deal. If you're in the trenches trying to go out there and wholesale your first house, you're probably going to ask yourself maybe once, maybe twice, maybe multiple times, does this actually work? And yeah, like I said, I can tell you all day, but as soon as you close that first deal, that's when it kind of just snaps, it clicks inside of your head. Wow, I just got a check that I just deposited in my bank account for so many thousands of dollars, and this is the work that it took to put in. So if you haven't wholesaled a house, I highly recommend that you really just set your goal to just close one deal. Don't worry about closing 10 deals, 20 deals. If you haven't closed one deal yet, then your main focus needs to be, hey, I need to wholesale one house. And once you wholesale one house, then worry about what the next step is, what the next goal is after you've wholesaled that one house. And it's going to take a lot of laser focus to be able to go out there and do it. There's a lot of distractions out there. There's a lot of shiny object syndrome. There's a lot of different business models. But I think wholesaling is one of the best business models because it's so long-term. So now what do you do after you've cashed that check, after you deposited whatever you made on the assignment fee on a deal? What do you do with that money? And I really recommend that you already have a job that you're working in. This is more of a part-time side hustle or deal, because if wholesaling is your full-time thing, your full-time gig, and let's say that you make a $5,000 check, chances are you probably want to keep most of the money that you make on that wholesale deal so that way you can pay for your living expenses, whatever it may be. But that's a mistake that a lot of people make. A lot of people can go out there, wholesale their first house. Maybe they got luck, but going out there and closing the second deal or the third deal is way tougher for them because they just are in the situation where it's just they feel like they need to keep all the money. So if you close a $5,000 check, I highly recommend that you just invest 100% back into marketing and pretend like you don't have that money. Pretend like this was just a loan that you were just given back to invest into your business, but you don't owe anybody anything at the end of the day. It's just money that just showed up all of a sudden, and just reinvest it. The more that you reinvest the profits and the income that you get from the wholesaling business, the greater your chances of being able to do another deal and being able to scale this off into a 3 or 5 figure business. And so I really want you guys to learn from my mistakes. The problem that I had was I went out there and I wholesaled a couple of houses, and I was fully I reinvested the first deal back into the business, and the next couple of deals that happened, I reinvested it into like different things. I didn't reinvest it back into my business. I didn't have a lot of living expenses at the time because I was going to school, but I didn't fully reinvest all of the money from the deal because I didn't have any other income, and I wanted to try different things because I was like, well, if I can make money doing this business model, why can't I make money doing these other business models? And that was a big mistake that I made, and I would have been able to have a lot bigger of a wholesaling business. Yeah, I still close deals here and there, but it's not the consistent flow that I want it to be, and that's why I'm having to build up more capital to be able to just go full force, and any wholesale deal that I close, I can invest 100%. Whereas when I was reliant on my income coming from these wholesale deals, I really set myself in a bad position. I really wish that I had a job so I could reinvest 100% and still being able to have income coming in to pay, let's say, rent or pay for the furniture when I moved into my apartment. All these different things, everything really adds up. And so if you wholesale a house, go get a job. Like, don't touch that money for your personal stuff. Just only reinvest it back into the wholesaling business. And if you just keep doing that over and over again, it'll get to the point where you only have to reinvest, let's say, like 20%, because you're closing so many deals and you can only invest so much every single month back into the business because you're making so much and you're kind of just flooding the market. So I'd much rather you be in that position than closing your first deal and then just keeping all the money and trying to do more free tactics. Because after a while, yeah, free tactics are amazing, especially if you close the deal without having to spend any money, but they're hard to replicate and completely scale and automate. Yeah, you can maybe close a couple of deals, but closing like 3 to 5 deals, 5 to 8 deals, that's when it gets a little bit trickier, and you're really going to have to do some paid marketing and probably outsource some positions inside of your business. So if I were you and I haven't done a deal, like I said, you really need to focus on just closing that one deal. Don't worry about making $100,000 yet. Don't worry about making 6 figures in your first year in the business. Don't worry about these big goals that you want to have. I really understand that, but it's just managing your expectations. And when you manage your expectations in the business, it makes it a lot easier. Too many people have too high of expectations, and the higher the expectations you have, the more you kind of just get emotional for not hitting these different goals, which I still get kind of like pissed off whenever I don't hit a certain monetary goal that I'm trying to achieve, and it upsets me. But I also have learned how to manage my expectations. I realize, like, yeah, it's all good in theory and it's all good in numbers, but the actual practice of taking action and putting yourself out there is a completely different story. And you have to have been getting like previous results in order to go out to the next level. Like, going from 0 to 10,000 consistently every month is a big difference from going from 40,000 to 50,000 every single month. 40 to 50,000 is just tweaking a couple of things, whereas going from 0 to 10 or 0 to 100 just straight up is that's a completely different like mindset, perspective, and there's a lot of change that has to happen to be able to achieve to that point. But just making a small movement in comparison from 40 to 50K is just more of, okay, let's close one more deal, send out this much more marketing. So really understand that and get yourself to the point where it's at least consistent before you start taking paychecks out of your deals that you're closing and not reinvesting into the business as much. So if you haven't wholesaled a house or you want to scale the business even further and you need more tips and advice, I really recommend that you go check out this video. It'll be right here. I always get the corners mixed up, but I really go in depth inside of that video. I feel like I put a lot of time and a lot of energy into making that video really good. But it's all about momentum inside this business. And the more that you can build up the momentum and keep on carrying it through, so that way you can just give yourself the ability to go on to the next level, the better off you are. And I always like to use this reference too, is to kind of treat like your wholesaling business like a lottery, or like maybe like you gambling at a casino, you playing like a rigged casino. So the thing is let's say that there's like such a chance, like a certain percentage of you being able to close a deal for putting in this much work. And so like, let's say like winning the lottery, you have like, let's say for example, you have like a 1% chance. I know it's way less than that, but you have a 1% chance of wholesaling a house. But you can increase your opportunities in the lottery by buying more lottery tickets. And the way that you do that in the wholesaling business, by increasing your opportunity to win your first wholesale deal or closing a deal, is by either putting in more time or sending out more marketing. It's just giving yourself more opportunities to be shown. And the ways that you can do this is get on the phone with more people, talk to more people, tell more people that you wholesale houses, or that you, not necessarily that you wholesale houses, but that you are a real estate investor and you'll pay cash for deals. The more people that you tell and the more that you put yourself out there, the higher your chances of winning this lottery are. So yeah, someone that puts in just like maybe 1 hour worth of work can get super lucky and wholesale a house, but that's how the lottery works as well. One person could just buy one ticket and win, but the person that buys 200 tickets has a way higher chance of winning the lottery. Whereas in the wholesaling business, it gets to a point where you're like have an 80% chance of winning the wholesale deal, and you just keep growing this opportunity, and it gets to a point where it's just like 300% chance and you're closing like 3 deals a month to win this lottery of wholesaling a house. So just play the long game. Just realize that it's not going to happen just overnight. It's going to take some work, and just consistently show up and build up this momentum. So that way, once it gets to the point where you do close a deal, you already have the work ethic and the habits built up to where it's not like you're just going to get lazy as soon as you wholesale your first house, because that would be the worst thing that could happen. But anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Go check out this video right here and I'll see you inside. But anyways, like always, I'm uploading every day, and so I will see you guys all tomorrow. Peace.